The NDC speak, and I really was very attentive to Honorable Edosef Hussaini, and I'm wondering, what exactly are they projecting onto us as a people? We have our ambitions and aspirations as a country, and what we are looking for as results, as solutions to these teething challenges that we every day strive to get ourselves out of. So for us, if you're going to give us a leader, and you're going to project the leader onto us, tell us cogently, specifically, without any ambiguity, what that person brings to the table to solve our problems for us. That is it. Without that, the fact that the person is a woman or a man means nothing to us. The fact that the person is tall or short doesn't mean anything to me. Fair or dark means nothing. Ever, Gan, Ashanti, Achim means nothing. I want solutions. I want an educational system that would ensure that no child of mine is left at home.
They say she was.
She's
the first woman vice chancellor of a public university.
It doesn't give me access to education. It means nothing. They are accolades to herself, her family, and her political party. We want solutions, Samson. And so, after they've done all these self-aggrandizements for 2-3 days, it's time for them to drop it. And let's talk about substance. Let's go into the issues. It's very important. I mean, Professor Nana is an academic professor, a vice chancellor. It's no shock if she's able to stand in front of a crowd and deliver a speech. It's nothing new. That's what she does her entire life. Show her that respect. Give it to her. That's her job. Every day, that's what she does. And so if she stands on a stage and delivers, kudos to her. But how does that cure the fact that when she was education minister, she led the cancellation of allowances for the poor? How does that change it? How that does change the fact that when she was education minister, schools did not have even chalks, to the point that the second lady, the wife of our former vice president, His Excellency Ebisata, had a course to stand in front of the full glare of the camera and say that we will not give you chalks today, we will not give you chalks tomorrow, if you teachers cannot use your money to buy the chalks. That, for me, are the conversations that the Ghanaian people want to hear. They want you to give us that reassurance that how you conducted yourself when we gave you this same role, you will do better. And you would first of all show us your scorecard and tell us how you intend not to repeat any of the things we did not want. It's not enough for an opposition party to come and list the sins and the ills of an incumbent. There is no incumbent government that you cannot list sins and ills. What you do is that beyond the sins, the listing of the sins and ills, give us what your alternative is. And disappointedly so, she missed the mark. She missed that big opportunity to make that lasting impact on the minds of Ghanaians about who she represents and how she intends to work with the president to take us to the level that we want to get to.
She did.
That mark she missed. For example, so she speaks and then, and I have the statement here. So you'd realize that from the day she spoke till now, all we hear is that she spoke very well. She's an improvement over 2020. You can realize that she's becoming a politician. She's articulating. Is that what we are looking for? Then we should.
Bawumia went through the same phase.
But that's not. Bawumia was articulating policies.
He went through the same phase.
No, we never projected Bawumia.
It took him a while.
We never.
Before he began his lectures.
We never projected Bawumia as an orator. We never said, oh, he's spoken so well. We said, Bawumia says when he comes, he's going to work with Nanado, so we get one ambulance, one constituency. Why? Because we believe that our emergency services are poor. Bawumia says that we need to drive the fundamentals of the economy to reduce our dependence on imports. And so we need to increase production. When we come, we would work with private sector to ensure that districts are harnessing on their raw materials to get factories in those districts. Bawumia says that when we come to power, we believe that as a country, we cannot continue to churn out young people onto the street without quality education. So he says, I'll support my president, we'll deliver free senior high school.
She speaks about shared prosperity.
But you don't
how
remember
we need
that.
to sacrifice and work to get to that.
Perfect. But you don't recall nobody.
And it is important. You know that. You of all people know that how fluent you are in making your presentations in the political campaign is very important.
That's the point.
When Bawumia was first outdoored, I was embedded in his team. And we went around the country before I moved from his team and joined Nanado's team. One of the concerns was that he was not able to project properly until the next time round. Then he took everybody by storm. And you guys celebrated it.
No. Never did we celebrate and project Bawumia onto the people of Ghana in a manner that says that here we are with the vice president that speaks so well. We never did that. What we did is what I've told you. Bawumia came in with solutions specific to our challenges. Now you have to dig into the speech to find some of the things she said. Why? Because they've clouded the entire conversation with she spoke well, she was throwing jabs, and you remember your introductory statement to him. That's what you recall. And I'm sorry, it's not just you. The millions of Ghanaians watching us, some say that's what they recall. And it's sad, it's unfortunate that we have a running mate that is seeking to support a presidential candidate, and all we can recall 3-4 days after her speech is how good she was in throwing jabs, throwing shades, and oratory skills. That is a problem. And I'll come to some part of the statement that maybe they themselves have refused to highlight, which is of substance to the people. And I'll concentrate on that. So she says that in their government, they are going to ensure that by the time they are leaving office, and she said, I envisage a report of the administration of His Excellency John Mahama on the ticket of the NDC who justifies his return. He says the report will have no reference to the following. Then she lists all the ills of the MPP government. Fantastic. But you know what? She missed the point. You have been president before, and you were Minister of Education under that presidency. The people of this country are skeptical. They are wondering, what new are you coming to? What new thing are you coming to do? How do we trust that whatever it is that you did to us, you will not repeat? Indeed, there is a government that has given us electricity for 7 years, but has plunged us into energy difficulties for 10 weeks. So we have a choice to make. Something we need to make a decision between two governments who have history of energy crisis.
But you inherited a resolved energy crisis.
We never did. How do you get into a difficulty of something that is resolved? How? What are you talking about?
You told us actually about excess capacity.
Rollins, hold on. Rollins, tell me from 1992, which of the government hasn't seen energy crisis? And which of them never said we resolved it? Tell me. The difference between the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Bawumia government is that this government kept energy on for 7 years. No government has done that since 1992.
But there were capacity issues. And the John Mahama regime is the one known to have gotten us to a point where you said now there is excess capacity.
The population in 1992 and the capacity then, have you ever run the correlation to understand how many we were in the capacity we had then? Have you ever done that correlation to understand? So let me make that point. It's very important. Have you ever done that analysis to understand where we were in the time during COVID we had the crisis and where we were under Mahama when we had the crisis? The fact is that you had generators and yet we're in darkness. Does it make sense? Have you ever thought about that? That you keep making the argument about capacity, which is true. Indeed, a lot of generators were borrowed and taken on credit, which we are still paying, no doubt about that. But ask yourself, how come we had all these generators during the tenure of John Mahama and yet we're in darkness? That had always been our point, that the energy crisis under Mahama was purely a financial issue. Why? Because you had borrowed generators, you didn't have to do much, because all you had to do is to go and tell the people that bring it to me, whether I use the power or not, I'll pay you. And then they come and put it there on credit. Then you don't have the money to buy the power, the fuel to power it. And so, indeed, the fact is that for 3 years out of your 4 years, we were plunged in darkness. For 7 years out of the 8 years, we've had power except for 10 good weeks. Let me make this up. So, the people of Ghana have a decision to make.
Okay.